Hi, I'm Ray Roberts. Welcome to my studio. I have 5 new DVDs. 3 of them are coastal scenes down south at Carmel near Big Sur, and 2 are figure demonstrations. The 3 coastal scenes I have right here. This one from Rocky Point looking south in the morning with the morning light on the water. The sun was just coming over the hill from the east. This bay faces south by southeast, and there's these huge rocks below the restaurant, south of the restaurant there at Rocky Point. You get the shimmery effect of the light on the water, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy in painting, and I get that from studying William Ritchell and Frederick Waugh. Their paintings were so luminous. I love that theme, and I'm trying to do my best at painting that. One of the things you need to do when painting these is I like to paint these colors first and then paint everything else around it, as well as to key the color off that painting, giving it a nice clean color. The white, if you go over dark shapes with the white, it tends to pick up the paint from underneath, and that'll kind of muddy it. So that's one of my key approaches to this type of painting, is to be able to cut around these light shapes as opposed to putting it straight on over a darker shape. On this first one, try to do a lesson, so to speak, in high key painting. What I did was I turned up all the values to about a middle value. As you compare this to the black, you can see how light the painting truly is. When you do that, it has a tendency to make the painting be more interpretive, and you can see more color in the dark areas. Here's another painting that I did that same day. It was in the early afternoon, Rocky Point Bridge. The sun was blasting on this cliff here, and the shadows were just little slivers of dark. These little slivers of dark are key in describing the direction of the light and describing the form of this cliff here. All these colors are very keyed light to make these shadows pop, and that's one of the ways that I try to create form in a painting, is by keeping all of my shadows darker than anything in the light. That's the approach that I use in almost all of my paintings when there's a strong light source. The third painting I did here at Rocky Point is of this giant monolithic rock jutting out of the water, with the very dark black rocks being sunlit and contrasting against the light rocks and sun. The challenge of this is that the water keeps going in and going out, and this water hitting on top of the rock would come and go, and it'd take forever. Something that's a little bit hidden by the frame are the reflections in the water of this rock, and the dark shapes and the light shapes. And I talk extensively about how you interpret these values and shapes and color when you're painting reflections. Again, I thoroughly discuss the approach of finding your way in terms of value between the darkest darks and the lightest lights. That includes making sure that those dark rocks and light are lighter than anything else that's in the shadow, including a light rock in shadow or a dark rock in light. The other 2 paintings, this one here is a demonstration of an exercise that I put in my workshops, in my portrait workshops. What I did was I painted it in black and white first, and then I went over and I colorized it, essentially. It helps you figure out your drawing. For a lot of students who are going from black and white to color, it's very easy to get confused when you're adding color into the mixture, so to speak, of a black and white painting. I can remember myself learning how to paint, how it was very easy for me to paint things in black and white, but when I got to color, I got confused. So this is an exercise that I use that I think is very effective in learning how to see the true value in a color when you're painting a figure or a portrait. Essentially, once you get the values and the drawing in, The object is to then go over and add color to it. It also has another purpose in that it grays the color down too considerably, which can be quite effective when you're focusing on the values and you're having troubles getting your colors are just a little bit too bright. This is the other demonstration that I did, is this figure reclining on the couch reading a book. Again, my approach was to figure out where my lights and shadows are. I walked the viewer through this painting in my approach of figuring out where everything is in light and where everything is in shadow, and how to define the form using light and shadow, and creating an interesting pattern of light and dark shapes. The importance of these sketches for me is to work up larger paintings in the studio. This is a sketch that I did just this last fall down in Southern California, and it's a scene in Casper's Park. And what I do is I use these to work up my larger sketches in the studio. This one is this painting in progress. You can see how I tried to match the colors. When I took photographs of this scene here, all these leaves, all this whole tree trunk goes to black in the photographs. And when I was out there, my impression was of more of a ochre color rather than black. So that's the importance of these seascapes here, of these coastal paintings, is to have good color reference when you're working in the studio. I'll probably work this up here in the next month or so. And these videos are available at my website, krollroberts.com. You can see my videos, you can see some more of my artwork there. You can see how I developed these paintings into larger paintings. For more information about these DVDs, please visit my website, and have a nice day.